Y'all, like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, notification bell, notification bell. Here all stay tapped in for the latest and the greatest of what we got going on. Hey, my question to Ace Boy Pun is, talking directly to Ace Boy Pun, how you let a nigga turn down the fade after all that shit was talked? See, if all I'm gonna say is this, Pun, be a real nigga, bro. Put it all, you the punstigator. This is destruction. Come on, my nigga, don't PC up, my nigga. We don't look for nice guy shit from out of you. We look for that nice guy shit from out of AD. So if a nigga turning down the fade, let that be known, Pun. Let that be known that niggas had a chance to do their due diligence and they pussied the fuck out. Pun, you motherfucking better not let niggas hide that shit behind content, nigga. Pun, you better be a real Pun. 2 C's, Pun. I'm looking at you. Come on, my nigga. You supposed to be the big homie, the OG of this shit. Nigga, we looking at you, Mr. Destruction. Come on, bro. Don't let a nigga, no viral, no viral. All right, cool. If a nigga scared, let's address it as what it is. A nigga scared. But let's not hide this shit behind, oh, he ain't gonna give you no clout, no attention. Nah. Let's call spades, my nigga. Or let's just call it cupcake time and not destruction time if we gotta handle it with kid mittens, my nigga. I thought we was on some destruction shit. That's the intro. You feel me? Me and Pun got some conversations that need to be had because Pun is harboring a buster. We finna go ahead and get into this content though. Let's go.
Would be a good time for us to dive into some important topics, and I think that since Brandon is here and we want to get him while he's still at the early part of his energy cycle, let's just lay it on the table. Brandon, you lit the No Jumper universe on fire because you and Almighty Suspect got into a situation on this podcast. Now, the initial thing that started it, people think, I saw Suspect talking about it. Suspect basically feels as if you initiate it by picking at him and telling him that he wasn't allowed to say the N-word. You were questioning his blackness. Not cool, man.
Right.
And he wasn't feeling it. And as a result, there was a situation. He offered to go outside with you for a fade. You said no. Then he realized you're a jiu-jitsu black belt, and you started sort of like demanding and saying that at some point in the future you really wanted to have a fade. Let's talk about this. I guess I caught some flack from Suspect because I said that Suspect started with the personal attacks, and he feels like by you questioning his blackness, you were actually the one who started with the personal attacks. Let's talk about it. Did you come in with the idea in your head that you were going to go to war with Almighty Suspect? And also, why are these fries here? Should I open it up so everybody can look at it?
The thing is that...
Wow, look at that sauce.
I thought you heard something, right?
Here's the thing. There's no way I could have planned that because everything erupted off of something that he said while he was sitting on the couch.
But before the camera even got turned on.
Yes, there's no way I could have known that I was going to walk in and the dude was going to say the N-word with a hard ER on the end.
Now, do you think that he was doing that intentionally, or did it just come out that way? Because we saw a few other video clips of him that people managed to find in which he kind of said the N-word with the hard R without seemingly even trying to be saying it. Like maybe he just pronounces it that way sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, but listen, man. Let me say this, Adam.
What's his race?
He's black.
All my suspect is black, a little bit more on the light skin side of it.
Okay, so,
Lush, I got a question.
yes,
The way you be glazing Suspect, are you this nigga real dad?
He is suspect.
that's fucked up,
The way you be glazing him, are you his real dad? Is crazy. Might be though.
bro. That's his
Nah, you be like a proud dad. You so cool, man. I be like,
so Brandon, so you still stand on that's what you heard.
nephew. No, I know what I heard because
Okay,
we
so
proved that with video of him doing it at other times.
Okay.
And I jokingly asked him, did you say the hard ER?
Right.
Now, he flew off the handle. I thought he was just slurring his words, right? But then we got the video of him saying it. And you know what? Maybe he just says it unconsciously. The point is, I didn't intentionally offend, bro. But the bigger point is, you guys are so irresponsible as the people he looks up to. I know he looks up to y'all by the sheer amount of times he's requested or sought validation from you guys.
Ooh. I know he looks up to you based off the amount of times he sought validation. Ain't that right, Josh? Ain't that right, this person? Ain't that right, that person? Instead of being able to stand on his own, he said that he was looking for a friend.
You guys never corrected that man and said, hey, bro, you pronouncing the hard ER, even if it's a mistake.
I would not say.
I blame you.
One at a time. One at a time.
How two white boys gonna correct him?
Yeah. What?
Well, they could have just made it about YouTube. Like, hey, you can't say that on YouTube.
And I never heard him say it like that.
But you saw the video of him saying it, right?
After the fact. But also, that's none of my business. If he wants to
hell
pronounce it
no,
like that, go
Hey,
ahead.
he could get this demonetized. You could have just made it like a workplace
I don't
thing.
think that the algorithm
Hey.
could differentiate between the hard R and the soft
Oh, they
A.
definitely can.
Really?
Yes, it definitely can for sure. For sure, it knows the difference.
Definitely can.
They ain't the ones to correct him.
But what about all these black men sitting up in here with him? The point is, I wasn't offended. I just asked him because I was kind of taken aback, but I thought it was kind of funny. But
Brandon.
he's emotional.
FLAKKO not black, bro.
We not doing that.
You should have got up and
FLAKKO
slapped him.
sure not black.
Getting up, fighting with
FLAKKO
no,
just
he's
dark
black.
skinned.
He's a black man. He's just Liberian.
African.
He's Liberian. We're all African.
No,
but
no,
the thing,
no.
No,
FLAKKO,
it's,
y'all.
it's a difference between.
FLAKKO's white man side, and you know what I'm saying he not gonna correct him.
I wouldn't say it's Flacco's white man side. I would say that just like what she said, I should have jumped up and slapped suspect. Listen, man, me jumping up and fighting
You
suspect
scary?
is not consistent with
He's
the goals
scared.
that I've set for my life. Okay,
And I respect that.
Sometimes you have to. You can't just give the message.
Now, I did see the clip on this. Shout out to Don't Panic. And Brandon does come with a really good message. And I want everybody to pay close attention. For once, I'm not going to interrupt. Brandon comes with a really good, powerful message, something that we should all take heed to and low-key model ourselves to be better men off of what he said as being black men, because sometimes it's each one teach one. Pay attention, y'all.
Sometimes you got to be the message. I can't sit up and criticize WACK 100 for telling 16, whatever his name is, to crash out at the Marathon Burger, then be up here wrestling around on the ground with this. What's his
Talking
name?
about Rockstar?
Yeah, Rockstar. So, what's his name?
Rockstar 2800.
Oh, 2800. And then I'm up here rolling around on the ground with suspect. Like, bro, come on, man. At what time is the black man going to represent himself the right way instead of doing shit that's ignorant that he knows he shouldn't be doing? Just because why? Because he knows no matter what he does, he can always blame Adam. Oh, Adam got y'all up there crashing out. He knows this audience, when you do something stupid, they're going to blame Adam. How does that help this young man who's a young man who needs to grow? How does that help him grow? I actually blame that shit on dudes like WACK 100, 4 Extras, all these dudes up here who should be giving that dude game. He ain't in a gang, so all y'all could collectively give bro some insight. But instead of doing that,
4 Extras for sure.
let's let
Give you
bro,
more
instead
insight.
of Lush, his real dad, fucking giving him
4
game,
Extras
he's
should be giving
fucking
him some
glazing
insight,
his
yeah.
ass, and he's up here tripping.
No, but here, I will say this, all right? So,
And that's just a joke about the dad
I know,
thing.
I know.
Bro gonna start tripping.
listen. Suspect, I've seen like every one of his relatives back to his grandparents. There's not a single white relative in his family tree. So I think that's, huh? Yeah.
Creole?
I mean, like, he's probably one of the lightest people in his family that I've seen, and I've seen his grandparents on both sides.
Blush. I know
parents.
that, but since time immemorial, black people have always made jokes about light-skinned people.
No, I know.
Man.
This dude is just making a big deal out of it because he feels insecure. We always tease.
This nigga Brandon is giving a fucking whole, like, medical breakdown of Almighty Suspect's psyche.
got lights. My sisters are light skinned.
No, I
we
get that.
always tease the light skinned nigga. It's just the way it is
So
sometimes.
with that being said, you could understand that sometimes they develop a chip on this shit.
And guess what? We always tease the super jet black nigga too. Of
course.
So stop, bro.
I know
I hate
that.
when black people act like they don't know about black culture. Bro been around too many white dudes. That's why when he was looking for validation, Josh, like Mikey, he sound like a black
Mikey
dude
is
who was
Mexican.
raised around white
All I'm
people,
saying
and he was
is-
seeking their validation.
You talking about sending a message when you supposed to get that message? What are you talking about?
got off.
What's the
Who's supposed
message?
to get that message?
No, Brandon is actually exercising a high level of thinking that we should all attribute to growth and actual extreme self-control. So I'm not gonna say like Brandon's not doing anything right. Brandon's doing everything exactly right. And you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do something that's gonna cost you your career, cost you your job. Brandon just made a huge name for himself and opened up so many more doors that, if handled incorrectly and like a nigga with a hard ER, would have been 100% shut down for him. So I respect Brandon for how he handled the situation for sure.
Delivered it, ding dong.
And
I'm at your front door.
and guess
with
what?
it.
This
Hippopotamus style.
mindset is exactly why Chicago's a shithole now. You got a bunch of people looking for entertainment value.
He called you a bus
Listen,
down.
you know what's funny? Everybody wants you to do X, Y, Z, but the only bodies that pile up are black male bodies. Nobody can tell me how to interact with another black man. Not a black woman, not a white guy. Why? Because we're the ones that do the dying. You don't know what that feels like.
I really respect
Brandon's a powerful message.
the fact that you did not accept his invitation to go fight outside, because I just feel like when you sit down and have a podcast conversation, that is just unnecessary. Now, I understand
He's
that
scary.
you think he's scared?
He's scared.
Oh, see, look, she still doesn't know about the twist that was uncovered in the course of that
It
interview.
doesn't matter.
She don't know.
And this right here shows how a female will get you into some ish. He's scary. He's scary. He's scary. Shut up and stay in your place. Stay in your wig wearing place. You're super out of bounds.
Thing I'm telling you, Adam, is this. If you're big like me and you trained, if I beat up suspect, I don't win off of that. This audience is fickle. If I do win, oh, you way bigger than them. It's just a bunch of crap I got to deal with.
Nah, they would've been counting
I
on
think
Brandon.
it's way better.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, but my thing is not to
Guess they would have for sure said that.
listen.
And that just shows that how many people at No Jumper want to see Almighty Suspect get beat up. This is a clear show of how many people. Almighty Suspect, I hope you paying attention, because it's a couch full of motherfuckers who want to see you get your feet whooped.
I could joke with the guy and go at his ego. My job is not to humiliate that black man. I'm not trying to. It does me no good to do that. I got nephews and stuff that I look at that are around his age. I think he's 20 or 22 or something like that.
No.
How does he?
He's like 27.
Oh, he's an old ass.
Suspect is only 27?
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn,
well,
I thought he was older.
the whole thing is, man, I think this situation, the way it went, it will provide a better opportunity for bro to grow as a person, because I feel like I won that exchange without throwing a single punch. He still got ridiculed and
For sure. For sure.
humiliated online, and he was the aggressor. Me, I just kept my cool, and people respect that. And I think that it will teach him a valuable lesson, because I was just trying to show, look, man, well, I wasn't trying to show it, but what was shown was this. You're not going to be able to jump up and swing on everybody. So why even do it one time? If you can't do it 1,000 times, don't do it once. And I think that was the lesson that was learned by that guy. And he sounded like he took it pretty well.
So you gave
Brandon,
him a-
you were expecting him to just laugh that off, right?
Yes, I really was.
Because that was the way I read it the whole time. That it was right before the show started, like probably a matter of minutes before that,
Yes.
right? You sat down. You heard him say, and
Of the podcast.
That's
So
what
it's
it
like
sounds like,
somehow the conversation that you
Nobody cares about what the junkie has to say when Adam's going to just say what he says, and then the junkie's just going to repeat him anyway. So let's just ignore the junkie.
get, like, we enter the conversation with this kind of already going on.
So he might have been a little extra out in how he got at you, but I think maybe also on your end you could have been a little more understanding that maybe that fool don't like to play like that.
I don't have to understand
Hey,
because
sound
I'm
like a public defender.
It
Yeah.
sound
So
like you
what?
gave Sus a little taste of his own medicine, because we all know if he try to irritate somebody, Sus he don't just try to get under your skin. He trying to get in your bone marrow. That's what it
Hey,
says.
did
Did
you,
suspect get on
when
your
he was
helmet?
insulting
Huh?
Jalise, right?
Did he ever get on you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
all the
honestly, the
time.
energy
We
he
go
had
at
for
it.
you was very similar to
But
the
look,
energy he had
but
for
when he
Jalise,
was-
so you can't say that he was picking and choosing.
But listen,
Yeah.
when he was insulting Jalise, right? I'm flipping this a different way.
Uh-huh.
Did Jalise jump up and strike him?
No.
Did she challenge him to fight?
No.
Why can he dish it out, but he can't take it without trying to resort to a fight?
I
And
thought
this
she
is
did
what I
try
thought
to
I
You
was
can't
dealing
fight a
with.
girl, right?
I
And
thought
this
she
is
did
no,
try to
no.
fight.
Why
She
she didn't
got
try to
up.
fight him?
No.
She did. She
It's a girl.
definitely
That's what I'm saying. Everybody could take suspects ridicule and not jump on him immediately. But if you ridicule him a little bit, he wants to fight you.
Well, okay, in his words, from what I was watching him say, the moment where he decided that he wanted to fight you was because you said he ain't trying to fight. He ain't
Oh, did
trying
you
to
read
fight.
the chat or something?
Oh, is that
No,
what she
when
When you
said?
say that, that's like saying, oh, he's a
No, I
bitch.
heard that, but where'd that come from? Like, who said, like, you read that somewhere, right?
Where?
You was like, he don't want to fight. You was reading
No,
something?
he was
No,
just
I
saying
said-
that. That was his.
No, someone said he wants to fight, and then I was like, he did. But I could tell. Adam,
So
listen.
you were
Okay, so
responding
you
to a
was
random
challenging
comment.
him.
Have you ever
You
had
didn't
a-
even know that you were responding to a comment.
Have you ever had a situation where someone's insulted your manhood, and you really don't want to fight the guy, but you're like,
Every day.
dang, I gotta say, I know, but you might be younger,
I know.
and you don't want to fight the guy, but you feel like if you don't fight him, you're gonna look like a punk. That's what we're dealing with. It happens in black communities all over the world, and people end up dying behind stuff like that.
I like the way Brandon's thinking and handling the situation. Everybody's making jokes, what he should have did. No, Brandon's saving a black life. And it might not be literally in this situation, but if you can't see the bigger picture of how Brandon and men like Brandon are beneficial to our society and our community as black people, you don't want to see their contributions.
What I'm saying is this. I thought I was dealing with a professional host.
Anybody want a burger? Last call for burgers.
I thought when I
burger.
walked in, I thought I was
If
dealing
you
with
want a burger,
a host,
get a burger.
a professional host from one of the largest podcasts on earth. I expected that type of cordial behavior. I could say damn near anything to FLAKKO. FLAKKO ain't jumping up challenging me to a fight. I could say anything to Joe Rogan, someone who's actually trained and could probably beat everybody's ass in here. He's not going to jump up and challenge me to a fight. Bro,
I'd be the
little
Brandon
bro
right
has
for
to
this.
learn to be professional. And professional means sometimes you might get offended, but that doesn't mean you jump up and challenge the other host to a fight. And when you got people like Snooki around, younger dudes will actually vouch. She ain't putting out anyway, so what she say don't even matter. You impress her, she ain't giving you no ass.
So you believe her
So
now?
you looking stupid. So bro just had to learn, and I hope he did learn. And I'm not even saying I taught him. I think the audience taught him, and I think you taught him. And guess what? When you suspended his ass from work, he learned a valuable lesson.
When
Oh,
did
you
I
got
do that?
suspended?
Oh,
He said he got suspended.
He did after the Kelpie beatdown.
He learned not to fight on camera.
I wouldn't have called it a suspension.
You suspended his ass.
We
You
were
fired him.
unsure if we wanted to continue having a working relationship as a result of that.
Hey,
No,
listen.
even worse than the
results of what?
suspension.
What
Kelpie
is-
or this?
When he
Kelpie,
beat up Kelpie,
Kelpie.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well, it's also I get what you saying, but also it's kind of like in this industry for some people, it's kind of like if somebody is like technically
Imagine throwing away your over 10 years of martial arts training and career that you actually have a career in because Brandon's a professor who teaches jiu-jitsu. Imagine throwing that all the way over a second with Almighty Suspect
trying to hold you in public. That's almost
because you want to impress this random ass girl with blue hair.
career ending for some people.
Who fought somebody for trying to hold them in public on a podcast?
I mean,
He
If
did.
Shannon Sharp could
Did
get
I
on,
kind of low-key too?
listen,
no,
if Shannon
later.
Sharp, an NFL great, could listen to Skip Bayless insult him and his football resume on national television and not jump up and throw a punch or challenge Skip Bayless to a fight, I think Almighty Suspect can take a little ribbing from somebody who's a host.
you just like
This is blowing shit out of proportion,
you
man.
ain't
Like,
trying to fight. You ain't trying to fight.
What I
You
can
can't
say is
that.
you gotta be disrespecting people. And it was like a whole lot of disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The
And
debate
then let's never forget the fact that Brandon did actually say Almighty Suspect. We can get in the ring and handle the situation in an appropriate place, just not in the like aspect of the no jumper situation. What's wrong with that? Why niggas ain't pressing Almighty for not jumping in the ring?
word came out and all that little shit. And then that's like, all right, you know what I'm saying?
Who started the B word there?
He did. He started
What?
calling you weird and a bitch over and over
What?
and over, which is
I don't know
basically
what
like
weird
that's him
became-
basically making it clear, like I want
Yeah.
to smoke. Even before he stood up and said he wanted to fight or whatever, like calling somebody in LA weird and a bitch.
right.
Basically, you're laying
That's
it
a
all
death
out there.
sentence.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and what I'm saying is this: everybody, if I jumped up and said, "Adam, you're a bitch. You're a bitch. Are you gonna try to fight me?"
No, I've already made my choice.
Yeah.
on
Who the
here.
hell? That's what I'm saying, man.
bro.
Like,
Adam said he got them shooters outside.
All right, man. That's that.
All right,
We
I
finna
think-
go ahead and jump out of this one, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you better today than what you were yesterday. Be even better tomorrow, but today be at your best. Red dots to the left. You know the rest, and it's free Avenue Angel, so he's free.